for joining me. I'm Scotty D, and we're pretty busy over here at Harpeth Guitar, but not too busy that we can't talk about some old Guild D-40s. The one on the left is a 1971, and the one on the right is from the 60s. I didn't date it yet, but I can tell you that the serial number on the one from the 60s is 28877, and the one from 1971 is 65069. And I know it's a 71 because it has a stamp inside of it. I could see it with a mirror. And the other one, I haven't looked it up, but I know that it's an earlier model. And we're going to take a look at the differences, and we'll talk about a little repairs. First thing I noticed on the headstocks obviously was a different finish, but there's some pearl inlays over here and more of a, I guess, a screen, silk screen. Both of the fingerboards are rosewood, although this one's a little bit darker and well seasoned. Both of them have had a neck reset, and from what I was told about the Guild D-40 is that Richie Havens played one to open up a Woodstock festival, and after that their sales went skyrocketed. They made a ton of them, and Manny's Music sold a ton of them in New York City, and that's where this one was bought. Not sure where this one was purchased, but I'll tell you the story about why it's here. Next, there's the label difference. The label on the inside of this one is kind of like readable when it's in the playing position, and this one's readable when it's in the hanging position. So the tags are in different places. The pickguard's a little different. This one has a little point down here, and that one's has a radius. The bridges are different. This one has a through saddle, which is more difficult to make and cost more money to make, of course. This one is a drop-in, traditional, modern appointment type saddle. I think they're both Brazilian rosewood, although this one's way darker in color. Not 100% sure about whether it's Brazilian rosewood, but most of the guitars from that era used that wood. So the bracing's the big difference on these guitars. I'll show you that too. But first I'll tell you the story about the if you guys want to see the story about this one, I took the neck off and reset it, and we'll hear the sound difference. Yeah, this one I put coated strings, so it might sound a little warmer just because of that, and because it's older and it's had more playtime. But the story on that is that he saw my video on the pinhole repair for bridges and bridge plates, and he sent it up from Mobile, Alabama to Nashville, Tennessee with his grandson to have me perform the same procedure on this guitar that I did on that other video, and it turned out great. I'm going to show you the whole thing step by step, and then actually I want you to refer you back to my other video if you want to see step by step, but I'm going to take you along the ride anyways. We'll get things going. Okay, I jigged the 60s model up in the Proppers guitar workstation. That's a new guitar holding tool that a lot of us are purchasing from Total Vice. It's I might demo it a little bit later for you, but I want to show you something. This was reset already by a former Martin factory employee that lives here in Nashville, Tennessee. He installed a saddle that was, in my opinion, amazingly high. So much that when you put I don't know if the overset neck and the tall saddle caused this big dip in the sound hole here. See how you can see the light behind it? There's a big bulge back here. The bridge is tilted forward, and this is, I mean, it's just insanely high is what I would call it. I mean, the action's fine, everything's good, it sounds beautiful, but it's just, you know, it looks like it's gotten lumpy. And I don't know if it's due to this super tall saddle or not, but let's look at my neck reset and see how I kept the saddle in a more conservative height. Okay, here's my brand new saddle. I just made it yesterday. It's at least a 32nd taller than the saddle from the factory, or the saddle that was in it when I received it. It's got great brake angle on the bass side and the treble side, and it's, like I said, super conservative. It's low. It's the top of the guitar is still nice and flat. No deformity, no dip. I'm gonna measure with the here, right in between the E and the A. I'm measuring 120 thousandths tall. Let's do the same thing over here with the 60s. Exact same caliper, exact same setting. It's 166 thousandths tall. Doesn't seem like a great big difference in, the grand scheme of the universe, but I feel it's dangerously high over here. I'm actually going to shave this down for him a little bit. I checked with him ahead of time, and I told him if there was one thing I would change about the setup on your guitar would be that I would lower the bass side string action a skosh. And he said, go ahead and do it. And, we're getting older. It's getting harder to play these things, so I like to have low action now. Okay, one more big difference and a correction, and then I'm going to get to work. On the 70s model, we can see the internal bracing is X brace, right? Standard guitars have a brace that crosses just below the sound, in between the sound hole and the bridge, it crosses and it goes, across the guitar. Check this out. No X brace. This guitar has a brace going across, then it has a center brace going right down between the D and the G pinhole. And then it has two braces coming down off each wing and a couple finger braces. It's really cool. It's kind of like a fan brace, and it's going to make it a bit more challenging to do the bridge plate repair. I'm going to have to make a brand new foam caul that cradles the center brace. So that's going to be fun. Let's get started. Proper guitar workstation and the Total Vice. This is called the Crossover Mini. I can loosen this crank and swivel the guitar this way or that way. I can also loosen it down here and swivel the entire crossover. That might be good if I want to kind of get a swivel action going during my repair. See, the proper workstation is great for if you want to tilt the guitar and work on its side or something, but I decided in this repair in particular, I'm going to need gravity to help the super glue or the CA glue to go through, and I probably want you guys to be watching inside. I need to have the mirror held in its place, so I think I'll work with the guitar in a horizontal position over here on the chaise lounge. Now I like to call this workstation the chaise lounge because it's got leather, it's got no big metal parts that you can bump the guitar into, and it's kind of a nice little treat for an old guitar like this. We're going to be working inside here. Let's take a look at that tall saddle again. That baby is like a skyscraper. Okay, I dropped a mirror down inside, sitting on the back of the guitar, so we're looking up through to the top, and we'll see that the fan braces 1, 2, 3, and the middle one goes directly through the D and the G. And he had to put machine screw washers around his ball ends of his strings to keep them from flying right up and out of the or going up inside of the bridge plate. So we're going to fill that all in with wood and CA glue and shave down that saddle. Crazy! and we'll get it back and do you a little demo here. I know you old timers go like, you youngsters are so fascinated by this fan bracing. It's no big deal. It's been around for 60, 70 years. Well, you know what? Some of us just got started in this industry. I've only been doing it professionally for 4 years. A lot of you guys don't know that. I didn't go to a guitar making school or work in a guitar repair shop. I didn't even work at a guitar center in retail. I just started reading Dan Earlywine's books when I was in my 20s and fiddling around with tools and buying stuff from StewMac all my life pretty much. And when YouTube came around, I started seeing Dan Earlywine on StewMac videos and watching Ted Woodford just like the rest of you guys. I started doing this before I knew who Ted was, and I've been able to learn quite a few things from him. And then Ian Davlin is another guy that I saw on YouTube who encouraged me to join the Luth group, which I'm a member of, and they've helped me almost every day of my business. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, keep doing it. Okay, I'm not going to do a step-by-step on the pinhole repair because I already did that video. Go back to January 20th of 2023 and you'll see my pinhole repair for bridges and bridge plates. Now this guitar has a center brace coming down right about here, so I'm going to modify this piece of foam. And I also use this foam in a Gretsch string mute video. You're going to see that if you follow my channel. And most people don't watch my channel. They watch Woodford and some other guys, and then that's it. But there's something to learn from almost everybody. You can learn from a guy that doesn't even have that much experience, believe it or not, if you keep an open mind. And for some reason YouTube isn't pushing my channel, so I'm getting less views over the last couple months than I had 3 months ago. I don't know what's going on, but I made that little cove that's going to press up against that deal. So in the other video I have just one long piece and a different jack, but this is how I'm modifying it to see if it works for this. If you're looking to add this repair to your repertoire, you'll want to go to stewmac.com and buy you some sanding blocks. That's what this foam is. It's a sanding block, and it cuts on the bandsaw like it's so fun to cut on the bandsaw. Anyways, I want to take a white piece of paper and draw a center line down the center so I can look through the top of the guitar down through the holes and see that I've got it right in the middle. So there's my center line. It's off center. Okay, let's try this. There's my center line. Then I'm gonna wrap it in cling wrap. Here's the cling wrap. I've also got cling wrap all over my jack because I don't want to get glue squeeze out on my jack. The jack's 150 bucks. Maybe I should put some double-sided tape there. Or I'll just take some binding tape and roll it in a little donut. Kind of hold it. There. Let's get ready to do this procedure. Okay, I did one side, the bass side first. Pretty clean. Now I'll do the treble side. Just drilled the holes. Everybody likes to see this little jack. This sits over the center back brace, kind of cradles it, and this pushes up against the bridge plate. As I drill the new holes, it supports the bottom of the bridge plate. So get you one of these. It's a 3" by 3" little jack. So we'll take a look at that. That bridge is quite a bit lower. I ended up taking off a 32nd of an inch on the bass side of that saddle. So it's not quite as sky high as it was, but it's still pretty high. And the sound hole's not going to change. None of that's going to change. It's a beautiful guitar. And I want to thank you guys for sticking around to the end and tuning in and subscribing. And we'll catch you later.